Hi guys, welcome to another video, and in this video we'll talk about threading in React Native. This is also a very important conceptual topic that we should know. As we may know that JS is a single threaded synchronous language, but React Native is not. Uh, React Native need threads to work because it is working with the OS. Uh, it has four threads: UI, JS, Shadow, and native modules. We should also know the understanding of bridges or JSI in the new architecture. Okay, I'll put some link related to that because it is a very important topic. Okay, so now let's just understand threading for now. It has four threads: UI, JS, Shadow, and native modules. Let's go with one by one. Yeah, first let's go with UI thread. Okay, so UI thread checks the all the on press related stuff. For example, button click because it works with the native side and it checks what is happening in the UI related stuff, but it is and rendering the UI. Okay, so that's why we need that. This is the use case of this thread. The second one is the JS thread. It does all the JS related stuff, for example, setting state or telling React that it should do reconciliation or calling an API. This all things happens with the JS thread. Next comes the shadow thread. Okay, so now for example, I have this button and it has a width of 200 and height of 200, right? So what does shadow thread will do it with each. Okay, think about it. Now there are like 10 different phones and each phone has different dimensions, right? And so you need to calculate the button's width and height according to 10 different phones. Now we can do this on UI thread, but it will need a lot of computation and power. So what we do is we do all the UI computation related stuff on the shadow thread, and this is why it is very important for us. Okay, the next is the native modules thread. Now many OS related operations, for example, file input output system, that's where native modules thread comes along. For example, opening a camera, getting a photo. Okay, that's where this thread comes along. I found this photo very, I think I quite like this photo. So this explains the UI thread. Okay, rendering the UI and the layout thread. Okay, it is calculating the style and everything, and the JS thread, which is a tree like of a structure which is helping in understanding how nodes are and how everything is there. Okay, and I want you guys to read this document from React Native as well. It explains the threading model and also like different rendering scenarios. Now I have this very fun question. Okay, we'll try to do it together. For example, there is a button. Sorry, there is a phone. Okay, and it has a button. Button. Now button has been pressed. How things will happen according to threading? Okay, we'll try to understand this and do this together. Okay. Oh no. Yeah. Okay. So what will happen is, first of all, UI thread will work. How or why? Because it will check that button is pressed. Okay. This is UI thread will now work here. The second thing is bridges will come here. Okay, now why bridges will work? Because for UI thread and JS thread to communicate, we need bridges or JSI. That's the only way to communicate. Okay, so bridges will come here. Then what will happen? JS thread. And what will JS thread do? Its computations, like setting state, for example. Okay, and calling PI. Okay, now what will happen? It has set the state, it has called the API, and there is some UI change. Okay, now what will happen? It will go with the help of our bridge, it will communicate, and what will happen? There is change in UI, so there is we need to calculate some UI computations. So shadow thread will come here. Okay, and after shadow thread we will go with that UI thread, which will render the changes. Okay, so this will happen if there is a button pressed. I hope you guys like this video, and let me know what different topics you guys want me to cover. Till then, take care. Bye bye.